And what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV today. Last night's AEW presentation of Fight for the Fallen was a pretty good show for a very good cause, and while no wrestling promotion is perfect, every single show does have its mistakes, and that's why I'm here to point them out to you, and we are here to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Everything Wrong with AEW's Fight for the Fallen review and reaction show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Oh, here we go with another WWE fanboy gonna talk shit about my beloved AEW. Oh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna dislike this video and I'm gonna drop a stupid comment because I'm not even gonna listen to the show to hear that this guy knows what he's talking about.
I enjoyed Fight for the Fallen. This was a very good show, but like I said, there are some issues that I take with the presentation of this show overall. It is never going to be a perfect show. It is unfair of us to ever expect perfection, but AEW's Fight for the Fallen had a lot of issues, and if you're going to be blind to those issues, that is why I'm here to swing this hammer and wake your asses up. Because All Elite Wrestling is a great option. It is definitely going to be competition if they keep putting on shows like Fight for the Fallen tonight. But, first of all, every single match on this show I think just went way too long. No match will truly feel special if every match has an extra long runtime. There should have been at least one or two matches that wrapped up in about 8 minutes. Because they didn't call for the extra added time. We don't have any storylines to really grasp onto. We don't know what's going on with these characters. We don't really know why they're fighting. It's just a wrestling card being booked for the sake of booking a wrestling card because we don't have an overall television show yet. They do the best they can on the YouTube channel, which I don't really watch, so I'm not privy to anything that some of you diehard AEW people might know. I'm coming at it just as a regular wrestling fan tuning into a wrestling show. And it is not clear at all to me. Another thing that I didn't appreciate was the fact that there's really no clear distinction of who I'm supposed to root for in any of these matches. Now, I'm a heel kind of guy. I usually go for the heels, so it's not like I'm looking for them to tell me, well, he's the good guy, cheer for him. No, but I want to know who's who. Who's the bastards on this roster? Who's the good guys? Who are the fans really going to be pulling for that's not just being pushed to the moon because they were a former member of the Bullet Club like Hangman Adam Page? I don't understand the appeal of Hangman Adam Page. He's great in the ring, but he looks like a cowboy version of Kenny Omega, and I don't understand the appeal. But is he good or is he bad? Joey Janela looks a lot like Hangman Page as well. They have a very similar physical features to them. And he's the bad boy, Joey Janela, but he comes out and he's all good guy. And you could take the six-man tag as a perfect example of this. We got guys in there like Jimmy Havoc, you got Shawn Spears, you got MJF, you got Darby Allin, and a couple of other guys. We'll get to that in a minute, but every single one of them seemed like a heel to me, so I was literally cheering for everybody because I thought they were all fucking cool. You need to give us some background. I don't understand it. And maybe this again can be fixed once we get to television in October on TNT, because we will be able to tell more stories, and on a weekly basis we will be learning who these people are. And maybe I'm nitpicking here, but I don't appreciate it. And it was like the theme of the whole entire night. SCU versus the Lucha Brothers. Who are you supposed to be rooting for? The main event matchup. The Rhodes Brothers versus the Young Bucks. Who's the fan favorite? Who do we want to lose? Why? Some of the things that were missing from this show. The commentary team tonight, while it wasn't terrible, you can tell they were definitely off their game. Alex Marvez. For all of you fans out there that may watch the show What We Do in the Shadows, if you're not watching that show, fucking watch it. It's on FX. It's a fantastic comedy. It's a vampire show, and it's funny as hell. And there's a character on that show, and his name is Colin Robinson. And Colin Robinson is, what is he? He's not an emotional vampire, but he's a vampire that's not your traditional vampire. He looks like a nerd. He's just a little average guy with glasses. And he's an energy vampire, and all he has to do is talk to you, and he sucks your energy from the life of your body. Every one of you guys know a guy like this that is in your office or at your store or maybe in your building. He walks up to you and he starts talking, and you just immediately want to die. And I think that's the effect Alex Marvez had on Jim Ross and Excalibur tonight. Because you can't tell me that they were on their game 100%. I enjoyed the commentary at Fyter Fest. I thought that was very good. Maybe you could attribute that to the other guy that was there. I don't remember his name right now. That was not Alex Marvez. But hey, man, maybe you should just relegate JR to the bigger matches on the card. Make the guy go to the back once in a while. Give him a chance to rest, especially when it's a 90-something degree day and you're on the outside and this guy's up there in age and he's one of the best voices in the business and you want to have him bring his best to the table. Why not just use him for the main event and a couple of key matches on the night? And let Excalibur take the reins, because that guy's pretty good. He's pretty good, but there was a lot of messiness in the commentary throughout the night. Another thing we're going to have to bring the hammer down on is the fact that in two separate matches tonight, we had outside interference by somebody who was not involved in the matchup at all, right in front of the vision of the referee, and nothing more was done about it than ejecting that said person from ringside. And I'm starting to wonder, what the hell are the rules? What are the rules here? In the tag team matchup, Christopher Daniels gets involved. He was the man on the outside. Sure, the Lucha Brothers hit him first, but that doesn't give him the right to interfere in the match. And what does the referee do? She allows him to get involved to the fullest extent and then just ejects him from ringside, where SCU should have just lost that match. Disqualification. The same thing holds true in the Triple Threat Tag match. My favorite match on the night. I thought it was the best match that they had all night long. And the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy are my new favorite thing in the whole entire world. But for some reason they give them Marco Stunt, a guy that I don't even like in pro wrestling at all. I don't understand how this guy sells that he's a threat to anybody. I understand the little guy and the David versus Goliath dynamic and all that shit, but Marco Stunt? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal, and I don't get why everybody's so high on him. Just because he's a fucking little guy don't mean he should be out there, and it does not suspend my disbelief to believe he's out there competing with guys 6 and 7 feet tall and holding his own. I'm just not a big fan of that whole thing. That being said, Marco Stunt gets involved in this matchup, and there are no repercussions other than Marco Stunt being told, now you have to leave ringside. What are the rules? It's not a no disqualification triple threat tag team matchup. Unless everything is no DQ, I don't understand. I don't understand and I didn't appreciate it. But those are just some of the overall criticisms I have on this night. And let's get started talking about this card. We're going to go talking about the buy-in pre-show. And the first matchup featuring the worst thing ever. And it's not who you think I'm going to say. It is that fucking librarian. I don't understand this librarian gimmick. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't understand anything about it. It is just worthless television to me. And then you got Peter Avalon with his girl Leva Bates, the two librarian jerks, taking on Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss. Hold on to your hats, everybody. I'm about to blow your mind, okay? If you have a problem with Sonny Kiss, you are an asshole. I'm saying it. I don't give a shit if you're Jim Cornette or anybody in between. Well, let me be a little bit more clear and let me defend myself. before you all start getting on my case. Sonny Kiss, if your criticisms of him are due to the fact that tonight, like myself, maybe this was your first time seeing Sonny Kiss, and he was a little bit less than impressive in the ring. He didn't really do much. He was a very jokey character, doing a lot of funny spots and things of that nature, which I'm not really the biggest fan of. But if that's your criticisms of him, I will give you that. And if you say, I don't like Sonny Kiss because he's not really shown me anything in the ring to show me that he's a great wrestler, then you know what, fine, we can come down on the same page. But if you want to come at me with, I don't like Sonny Kiss, and I can't get behind this guy because of the way he looks, I can't get behind this guy because of his lifestyle, I don't want this type of guy in my wrestling, if you want to give me any of that shit, save your breath, save your finger strength for the comment section, and go find somewhere else to direct your attention. Because if you have a problem with it based off of that, you are an idiot. You are an idiot. And you know how many fucking people I seen trashing Sonny Kiss at the start of this show and then cheering for a man in the main event who made half of his fucking career playing the exact same character as Sonny Kiss? You're all fucking idiots. How can you love a character like Goldust but hate the presentation of Sonny Kiss? Why? Because he's not all one color? They are the same character. Goldust was an androgynous person who played off of the fears of homosexuality by the other men in the ring, which is a part of the character that Sonny Kiss is playing. What, he's a little more transgender than Goldust? Do you remember how Goldust used to come walking out when he was with Luna Vachon? Big fucking nipple bras and all kinds of crazy shit, gag balls in his mouth. And you'll cheer him in the main event tonight, but you're gonna shit all over Sonny Kiss. You're gonna watch NXT and you're gonna jerk off to the Velveteen Dream, right? Who is just a purple version of Goldust. Sure, they've toned him down, but do you remember when he got started? Do you remember all the sexual innuendo? Do you remember all the people questioning the man's sexuality? Was it a problem then? Fuck off with all of that shit. I got another one just popped in my head. This is a little bit more for the older generation. The adorable Adrian Adonis. Remember Adrian Adonis? He was a world tag team champion. They broke him off into singles competition and he went to shit. He decided to go into his grandmother's closet, start dressing in drag, putting on clown fucking makeup, and being the adorable Adrian Adonis, playing on the androgynous sexual angle, and the man ended up in 2 fucking WrestleManias, one of which was a high-profile match many of us remember from WrestleMania 3, the hair versus hair match versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And you're gonna tell me that there's no place in wrestling for a Sonny Kiss? Fuck off. Like I said, you want to tell me about how he didn't really show you much tonight? I'll agree with you. You want to come at me with any of that fucking intolerant bigotry hate? Go take that shit to some other show somewhere else. I have no fucking space in my life for idiots like you. I don't care who you are. If you don't agree with it, keep it to yourself. Because I don't give a shit. Sonny Kiss pinned Peter Avalon in a bullshit fucking pre-show match. I don't even know why I just really went off there on that. It just bothers me, man. It bothers me. I've seen so much of that fucking two-faced shit. Oh, Sonny Kiss is so bullshit. Oh, Dustin Rhodes is great, legend in the business. Fuck you, man. You're obviously not as big of a wrestling fan as you thought. And by the way, you're also a fucking idiot. Whew! Shoko Nakajima and B. Priestley. I love B. Priestley. Reminds me of the second coming of China. I thought she looked fantastic. This girl is the Stardom Women's Champion, I believe. And Shoko Nakajima is the Joshi Pro from Japan. 2 champions coming to AEW from other promotions. And they laid it down tonight, defeating Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Riho. I loved all 4 of these women. Britt Baker is, I know, the main squeeze of Adam Cole. And I don't know if he's had an effect on her, but definitely seems like one of the better girls on this roster right now. I am being exposed to so many talents from the East that I really can't even keep track of them right now. But Shoko Nakajima really, really impressed me tonight. She pulled off some of the most crazy moves. She's got a great intensity to her. She was going at it with Rio, and we know from the commentary team telling us that they have a very long storied history in Japan, and it can definitely show here. Bea Priestley is a beastly, and I fucking loved everything about her tonight. I was all in on this tag team matchup. Probably one of the best matches overall on the entire night. I wish this match was on the main card instead of some of the other stuff that we had to see at Fight for the Fallen. This was a great showcase for women's wrestling. If the women in the WWE could even wrestle half as well as we seen, or were allowed to wrestle half as good as we seen in this matchup, the women's division wouldn't be such shit. But by showing us matches like this, they are obviously staking their claim to having the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. It was a little sloppy here and there. I mean, it wasn't perfect as always, but this was a very good matchup. The one thing I didn't appreciate, and of course we got to bring the hammer down on everything, is the fact that during this matchup, for some reason, the subtitles came on. And obviously I thought I did something. I thought I hit my keyboard. You know, I thought it was my fault because I do all kinds of stupid technical shit. But it wasn't. Obviously, as many of you guys experienced the same phenomena as well. It was a little bit annoying, but thankfully it was removed before the main show. The first match to open up the show was the 6-man tag team matchup I was referencing earlier, where I don't know who's good and I don't know who's bad, other than Shawn Spears and MJF. And they are two guys on a team with Sammy Guevara, who, in my opinion, is the all-star of this match. This kid was fantastic. I'm really high on Darby Allin after the last show and his matchup with Cody Rhodes, but this kid tonight, Sammy Guevara, really impressed me. He was pulling off a lot of fantastic high spots. This was a very well put together 6-man tag. There was inner turmoil happening on both teams at times. Darby Allin, one of the most important things I could point out to you guys, and one of the things I am already very appreciative of with AEW, is the fact that this guy came to the ring all taped up, showing the damage that still remains from his battle 2 weeks ago at Fyter Fest with Cody Rhodes when he took that insane coffin bump off the top rope. Doing things like that matters. And the fact that his injury and that taped up section of his body played into the part of the finish of this matchup makes it even better. There's a lot of different storylines going on in here as well. Joey Janela, we know, is on his way to a World Heavyweight Championship matchup. I'm sorry. See, now I'm getting him fucking confused with the other guy, with the Hangman Page. See what I'm saying? That's how similar they are to me. I just confuse them by name alone because I'm seeing faces and I'm seeing the wrong one. I apologize for that. But this match did have a couple of other storylines, mainly the one being Shawn Spears now being known as the Chairman, after his vicious headshot on Cody Rhodes at the last show, and MJF being a good buddy of Cody Rhodes, giving the business to Shawn Spears at a few moments of this matchup. It's really good to see a little bit of attention to detail there, and I really did enjoy this matchup. The heels won. In case you, I mean, this was a match to me of 6 heels, so the heels won. Jimmy Havoc has a fucking fantastic look, and I like him when he's not doing the really insane staple shit to your head stuff. He's a great wrestler. Darby Allin, I'm looking forward to his future. Joey Janela, bad boy, good boy, whatever kind of boy you want to be. The guy's great in the ring, and he's got a great charisma about him. He comes out, he reminds me of like a... His packaging reminds me of like a hybrid DDP and Bret Hart. Like if you smashed them together, you'd get Joey Janela. But I enjoyed this matchup. It was a very good way to kick off this show. Brandy Rhodes was going to take on Allie. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be honest because that's what I do here. And I'm going to put myself under the bus here. Brandy got me. Brandy got me with the promo that they showed tonight, talking about how she's having trouble believing in herself and the wrestling business is kind of fighting back against her and she's got all these demons that are telling her she shouldn't be doing this, and she's questioning herself, and tonight's going to be the night that she proves one way or the other what she's going to bring to AEW. And after the promo, I was actually a little teary-eyed. And maybe it's because I'm going through a very similar personal journey in my own wrestling world here in New York City, as I'm training to be a professional wrestler as well at the age of 42 years old. And it's not been the easiest thing in the world, and I find myself questioning myself all the time. So I immediately related to Brandi's story and immediately wanted to see her go out there and absolutely fucking kill it. And then, after these two girls make their way to the ring, out comes Awesome Kong. And I will never complain about seeing Awesome Kong. I love Awesome Kong. I think she's fucking great. But now I feel like Brandi put us all on that hook and reined us in, and it was probably all just a bunch of bullshit, and she got me. All right? You got me, Brandi Rhodes, and that's fine. Everybody gets got sometimes. But Allie was the one that got on this night, as Brandi Rhodes would pin Allie following a little bit of trickery and a distraction by Awesome Kong, which allowed Brandi to secure the win in this matchup. After the matchup, Awesome Kong would be confronted by Aja Kong. And at first I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then I'm remembering Nyla Rose. And I'm like, damn, it would have been so much cooler to have seen Nyla Rose come out. Not that she has any reason to protect Brandi Rhodes or Allie or anything like that, but just the mere challenge of Awesome Kong standing before her, I think would have probably went over even bigger. Just because both girls have the last name Kong doesn't mean we have to see them throw down in the ring, but it should be interesting. Hopefully it's nothing like what we seen at the last month's show when these two faced off in that Battle Royal. We'll have to wait and see. We had the triple threat tag team matchup. The Dark Order, Jack Evans and Angelico, and the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy with Marco Stunt. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, I will be behind them all the way through this tournament. They are my picks to be the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions. You want to take a guy that thinks he's a dinosaur and another guy that thinks he lives in the jungle and put them together. That is magical. It's magical. And the difference in size and stature between the two make them opposites that totally work. And I am over the moon with this tag team, especially seeing some of the tag team chemistry that they put on display in this matchup. There was a sequence towards the end of this matchup where the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy hit a couple of tremendous double team maneuvers, stuff that I have never seen before anywhere, that should have been the end of this match, and they should have won this matchup. But instead, this matchup was won by the Dark Order. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. I like Stu Grayson. Evil Uno. I don't want to say anything too bad because I feel like my hatred of him is too coming off of something more personal than professional. As, you know, his whole gimmick and his thing with the minions is currently something that's happening somewhere else, and I happen to be a part of it, and it just kind of agitated me because, you know, it's our thing. It's our thing, and now here I am and I'm seeing it on TV. But whatever, it is what it is. But it immediately put me off to this team for a personal level. As far as the whole match goes, this was a fucking great matchup. It was full of action and intensity, and I absolutely loved Jack Evans and Angelico as a tag team. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, like I said, put a rocket to their back and strapped them right to the belts. And then I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this team can do. It's going to be special. I can imagine some of the merchandise that's going to come out. A boy and his dinosaur is the tagline behind it. It's so great. It's so great. Sure, it's a little cheesy and it's a little hokey, but for some reason it works. You know why it works? Because this is pro wrestling, where guys like wrestling fucking dinosaurs and little guys that think they come from the jungle and guys that have transgender fucking outfits on work. Imagine that. The Dark Order wins this matchup. I wasn't very happy about this, and they will now be going on to face the best friends at All Out, where the winners will get a bye in the AEW Tag Team title tournament. I really, really did not like how much the Dark Order was in this matchup. I did not like... Well, you know what? Forget. We'll just leave it at that. Because this was a great match, and I really did enjoy it for the most part, regardless of the Dark Order being a part of it. And now we're going to get to something that many of you guys are going to probably crucify me on. I told you guys already, I don't get Hangman Page. I don't get why everybody loves him. I don't understand it at all. Same thing could be said for Kip Sabian. Well, these guys went out there and put on a really, really kind of boring match to me because I just wasn't invested in the characters. It's not about the performance. I just really didn't have any reason to sort of care. And the longer this match went on, this again is one of those matches that just went on and on and on. Just like the Triple Threat Tag match. It should have been finished. And then it just went on and on and on. And this was the same here. Hangman Page should have had this match wrapped up so many times. Why it was so important for super bad Kip Sabian to have a tremendous performance tonight against a guy that's supposed to be going against Chris Jericho for the championship. If a guy like Kip Sabian can take Hangman Page to the limit, what the fuck is Hangman Page going to do against a guy like Chris Jericho? And the longer this match went on, the less I really cared about it, until finally Chris Jericho came out and attacked Hangman Page dressed up like one of the Dark Order. That's what you could expect from Chris Jericho. He's pulled these kind of shenanigans before, trying to get a leg up on his challenger as we are heading towards the destination of All Out in Chicago. And it's going to be an interesting matchup between the two of them. I don't know if it's just me or if there are others out there that feel the same. While there was tremendous athleticism in this matchup, there was just something keeping me from really caring. And I kept finding myself going to my phone, checking to see what other people were thinking. Just didn't keep my attention. And why this guy's being showcased for the championship over guys like Omega and some of the bigger names on the show, I don't understand. Unless it's just to give Chris Jericho a win, and he's really going to be the first AEW champion, to bring it some notoriety, to bring it some history and some backstory. And that's probably what's going to end up happening. I don't think that Adam Page is the guy to be the first champion. So how much can I really invest myself in there? The Lucha Brothers took on SCU, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, SoCal Uncensored. This was a good match. It just went too long, and at times, the Lucha Brothers seemed a little bit off their game. I don't know whether it was the heat. I've been underneath a Lucha mask myself. It is not easy to breathe, even if you're just standing still, so I'm not going to be too hard on them. They do too much standing around at points. The whole Cero Miedo thing, like, you gotta speed that shit up. And then he's taking the glove off and the whole 9 yards. And the whole time, Scorpio Sky's just standing there, and I'm thinking, punch this fucking guy. This is a wrestling match. Why are you staring at him? Are you falling in love with Pentagon? Are you trying to figure out what the design is on his mask? Are you trying to see what he painted around his lips tonight so you can give him a nice smooch? What are you thinking while he's standing there playing with his fingers, taking his glove off, nice and slowly? Like, I don't have patience for that kind of shit in pro wrestling. And the other guy's just fucking standing there. Like, we're not here to fight. I'm going to stand here and watch you disrobe your glove. It annoys me. And they do way too much of that stuff. Lots of posing. There was a couple of double steps in this matchup. A couple of quick resets because they weren't quite ready. Like I said, I don't know if it was maybe lack of oxygen. The the overwhelming humidity. It was supposedly 90-something degrees in the shade. So I will just pretty much chalk it up to that. I think this match, too, just went way too long. They could have definitely cut about half the time from this matchup. The ejection from ringside of Christopher Daniels made this just a straight-up 2-on-2. There was nothing wrong with the fact that she ejected him from ringside. It's just that I don't understand why they didn't get disqualified. And that would have been a great place to end off. Now, there wouldn't have been a winner, wouldn't have been a loser. We could have continued on, SCU and the Lucha Brothers, as we're getting ready to establish the AEW Tag Team Division. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But the finish of this match was fantastic. They did the double foot stomp package pile driver combination, which got them the 3 count on Scorpio Sky, and this match would be over. After the match, the Lucha Brothers would ward off and attacking Christopher Daniels. They started pulling out ladders, and then you could pretty much tell what was coming next. They went on to challenge the Young Bucks to a ladder match at All Out, and I'm asking why. I'm asking why we're doing a ladder match. What are they going to go up and grab? Is it going to be a contract to face the first team to win the tournament? To crown the actual champions? What sort of shit is this? Or are we just going to have the ladder in the match and then win by pinfall? Why are we having a ladder match? We don't have championships. We don't have number 1 contenderships at stake. There's no matches at stake. Why would you just randomly challenge them to a ladder match? And what are they going to retrieve? If you can answer me those questions, then you can tell me to shut the hell up. And that's all you can tell me. And you can tell me in the comments below, and I don't care. Kenny Omega. Oh, God. Here's where you guys are going to we touched upon this already in the last AEW review. And for all of you assholes that are still sitting here watching this thinking,
Oh, this guy just wants to talk shit and he loves his WWE.
nah, first of all, go watch Raw and tell me how much I love the WWE. Do my Raw review, rather. Don't watch Raw because you'll die. But watch the review and tell me how much I love the WWE. And if you've seen my previous AEW stuff, I have to get ready with a nice sip of this beverage. It's not the best beer in the world, but it'll do. I don't understand the allure and the appeal of Kenny Omega. When you watch a Kenny Omega match, and I will scream this from the mountaintop, you see the same thing 100 fucking times. You know when you create yourself a professional wrestler in WWE 2K, when you get your copy of the game and you fire it up and you put your outfit on and you put your name in and then you put all your moves and you got the move set list, right? And it's like 200 moves you gotta pick. Your ground move, your standing move, your grapple move, your behind move, your top rope move, your bottom rope move, your this move, your that move, and you put a whole list of like 200 fucking moves in there. And then you go and you have your match. And just due to the circumstances of the match, due to the positioning of your opponent and just your basic nature and your instinct and how you play, you keep doing the same fucking move over and over because you keep pushing the trigger to the right. So you keep doing a fucking power slam, and a power slam, and a power slam, and then you'll do something else. Oh shit, right, I can do this move. And then you go to do something that you think is going to be something else, and then oh wait, it's just a fucking power slam again. Do that for Kenny Omega, because that is what it is. The guy's probably got a fucking move set a mile long, and all I see are knee strikes after knee strike after knee strike. V-trigger, V-trigger, V-trigger. Why do you have this move in your set if it's not even effective anymore? This is your signature move, but you need to hit it 17 times in one match for it to be effective. That's not very signature to me. And then what else do we see in a Kenny Omega match? We see him constantly going for the one-winged angel, only for his opponent to power out of it in some really cool and amazing way. And then his opponent comes back with some offense, and then Kenny Omega hits a V-trigger! That's not fucking doing it for me. The guy is a great guy. He's a nice guy. He's a handsome gentleman. He's got a great look. But when you watch him bell to bell, it's the same 7 or 8 moves, just done in a different sequence over and over again, and I've had the same criticisms of him in his matches with Okada, which is nothing but super kicks and knee strikes, super kick, knee strike, suplex, super kick, knee strike, suplex. The same thing holds true on this match tonight. The only thing that impressed me really was Shima, who I have not really been paying too much attention to because he's been in other things at AEW, and I kind of don't know the OWE connection and whatever the hell it is that he comes from. But this guy was impressive. Even in there with Kenny Omega, he really stood out. But once again, this guy hit the Meteor double knees like 18 times in one match. And in one instance, he hit it from behind, sprung up, and then hit it from the front, and then went for the pin, and Omega kicked out. And I'm like, so why do you keep using these double knees if they're not working? Do something else.
Oh, you're a WWE
Asshole. No, man. I call it like I see it. Go back and watch a Kenny Omega match now that you've heard my commentary on it, and you will notice how many fucking times, because you're not going to be all caught up. Oh, look, it's Kenny. Oh, it's Kenny. Look at his beautiful blonde hair, and he loves Final Fantasy, and he thinks Sephiroth is fucking cool, and so do I. It's Kenny. Oh, Kenny. No, man. Not these eyes. Not these eyes. I don't see that shit. I see what I see. Ridiculous. Kenny Omega ends this matchup with a V-trigger and a Tiger Driver 98 for a close 2 count, and then picked up and finally hit the one-winged angel, and it was over. Chris Jericho took the microphone talking about his feud with Hangman Page. Jericho on the microphone is Jericho on the microphone. It's great. But what did you think was going to happen as Jericho continues to run his mouth after having attacked Hangman Page from behind in the mask? Hangman Page makes his way out to lay out Chris Jericho in the middle of the ring. We had referees and agents and other superstars from the back trying to come out and break everything up. And that was it. And this is a good promo and good build to the all-out main event, which is going to be Chris Jericho and Hangman Page. But I still find myself struggling to care about the character of Hangman Page. And I'm really, really hoping that all of this gets solved once we get a weekly television show where I can actually sit and learn about all this. The Young Bucks took on the Brotherhood, Cody and Dustin Rhodes versus Matt and Nick Jackson. This was a great match. This was a little slow at points. And these last 2 matches, the crowd was just completely tapped out. How the hell are you going to feel after 4 hours out in the sun, no matter whether it's at night or in the day? The heat is the heat. You're sitting out there sweating. It's affecting the announce team. You got a whole friggin' crowd, stadium full of Shane McMahons. But this match was exciting. The Young Bucks kind of suffer the same criticism as everybody else that I see from New Japan and the Bullet Club, and that, you know, they love their super kicks, so we're going to see them 100 times. But the story behind this match, I couldn't really understand. Once again, because of the babyface and heel dynamic, there really was none. You know, this was just competition for the sake of competition. And it was a great match. It was a great match. If this was Dustin Rhodes' final match, then I'm sure he could hang his hat on it very proudly. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but the Young Bucks close out the night beating the Brotherhood. And then Cody Rhodes wants to go out and take shots at the WWE, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I love it. I think it was fucking great. Just like him taking the hammer to Triple H's chair. Everybody's all afraid. Oh, why do you got to do that? Why does he got to do that? It's giving, credibility to Vince McMahon and the WWE. It's acknowledging that they exist. It's blah, blah, blah. It's telling everybody that you want to compete. Sure, go ahead. Why not? Pound your fucking chest, bro. You just put on 3 fantastic shows. AEW has got to be the best. I don't know how to phrase it. The the promotion that has gotten the biggest the fastest. You know, it came in with a fan base before it even had a show. You know what I mean? So they definitely are the first promotion to really get off on the absolute best possible start you could possibly have. All they could really do from this point on is fuck it up, which is why I sit here and illustrate to you guys that just because they're not the WWE doesn't mean everything they do is great. And there are multiple things wrong with this show, including showing the owners of Farrah and Farrah drunk, absolutely fucking wasted. Guys like Kip Sabian kissing fucking audience members. And all night long. Just a little bit lackluster commentary. I did dig the vibe of the venue. I thought the venue was great. It gave me feelings of watching old WCW Nitro. Remember those episodes where they would be like in Florida or on some fucking tropical destination or some shit, and they set up the ring and you had wrestlers throwing each other in pools by the end of the night? Sure, it was a stupid show and the show sucked, but the sets used to be pretty fucking cool. This kind of reminded me of that. I really did enjoy the way it looked. The venue looked fantastic, but I'm sure it was fucking awful to get through before all is said and done. Cody Rhodes and company revealed they have raised over $150,000 for the Victim Assistance Advisory Council. Like I said, this show was for a good cause, which is to help victims of gun violence in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's a very, very good cause. It's a good gesture by the company. I don't know if this is all 100% coming from the gate, or if this was more than just donations from Kenny Omega and Jabali and whoever else they mentioned. Jabali! This guy Jabali was trying to sit with my buddy's private party at the beginning of this thing, got kicked out because it's a private party. I forgot to mention that. All in all, a night of very good wrestling action here and there, although I don't know what most of it was all about. And you might think I'm nitpicking, you might think I'm being crazy, but you want to see crazy? Make sure you tune in later on tonight, because this is the first of a 1-2 punch you guys are getting on this Sunday in July. Well, we had Fight for the Fallen last night, and Mr. WWE Fanboy is going to be back here in just a couple of hours to bring the hammer down on Extreme Rules, which is a show that is anything but extreme. Make sure you don't miss it. And to be sure you don't miss it, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button right now and hit the notification button as well, so you don't miss anything coming up this weekend and coming up in the future as we continue to bring the hammer down on the WWE every single week, twice a week after Raw and SmackDown, and of course following every major pay-per-view. We will continue to bring the hammer down on AEW so that we can wake some of you jerk-offs up from this crazy dream that you guys have, and that everything's all wine and roses, and it's not. Everything needs help. Everything has problems, and I'm going to let you know. That's why we started calling these things Everything Wrong with whatever show it is we're watching, because that's the only thing I want to bring to your attention. So if you're tuning in to Sledgehammer TV looking for a little bit of positivity, you got the wrong channel. If you're looking for a channel that's going to make you laugh your ass off while telling you the way it is with professional wrestling, then you found your new home right here on Sledgehammer TV. Don't forget to check out everything else I got, the preview and predictions for Extreme Rules, if you want to check that out, and everything leading up to it. We've been hammering down on Hollywood. We got the Spider-Man Far From Home review. We got the Avengers review. I took down the Game of Thrones season finale, and it is all there for you guys to check out at your viewing pleasure. My name, ladies and gentlemen, is Nick Nightmare. This is the team. Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball. The most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you, which is why I need you guys to smash that like button and then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they're a little bit blinded by the light that came falling down from Fight for the Fallen, so that somebody could wake them up and bring them back to reality. That, my friends, is going to do it. We are out of here, and we will see you later tonight for the Extreme Rules review right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Don't kill me, you guys. I speak the truth. That's all I've ever promised.